Batman versus Wolverine. Oh, this is gonna be a good one. Original video will be down in the description. Clickety clack. Best is back. Boom.
My suit is destroyed. One of the claws went through my shoulder. Another ripped open my abdomen. Every breath hurts.
Clickety clack. Best is back. Boom.
My suit is destroyed. One of the claws went through my shoulder. Another ripped open my abdomen. Every breath hurts.
Oh, shit.
Every movement requires an effort my body can no longer sustain. Ahead of me, he keeps advancing. The communicator is broken, but through the interference, I can still hear Alfred's voice.
Great. Please, fall back!
The man in front of me is covered in blood, just like me. The difference is that his wounds disappear before my eyes.
Damn.
For the first time since I put on this uniform, I consider the possibility of dying before completing my own plan. But to understand why an unknown man managed to bring me so close to defeat, we need to go.
That's crazy. That's crazy. Big time.
Understand why an unknown man managed to bring me so close to defeat. We need to go back to the moment another universe invaded Gotham. 11 days ago, the Justice League Watchtower registered an impossible phenomenon. A rupture between universes. A collision between two realities. It lasted less than a second, but it was enough. Fragments of another universe began to emerge. Unknown objects, debris, and people. The next morning, 8 members of the Black Mask Gang were found dead in an abandoned warehouse. The police believed they were facing another metahuman. I didn't. The bodies told another story.
Jeez.
The victims had not been crushed, nor burned. They were cut. 6 parallel cuts.
Cut. Okay. So yeah. Why they've even been, jeez, they some Wolverine.
Nor burned. They were cut. 6 parallel cuts.
Damn.
Precise. That required more than strength. It required training. Whoever did that wasn't just an animal. He was a soldier. I spent the following days reconstructing his route through Gotham. Always the same pattern. Laboratories, military depots, research centers, power substations, never banks, never jewelry stores. He was looking for something. Or someone.
Yep.
When I finally found
someone.
him, I immediately realized he was also studying me. He didn't attack civilians. He didn't try to escape. He just watched me, as if trying to find out if I was part of that place, ally or enemy. The combat began seconds later. It was short, but enough to teach me that all my experience against common criminals would be useless that night. I managed to neutralize him physically. However, nothing remained broken long enough to make a difference.
I know Batman does punch really hard. One punch could break bones. That's how crazy his punches are. Jeez. And Wolverine is just taking it. That healing factor, baby.
Nothing remained broken long enough to make a difference. His body simply returned to normal, as if every wound had never existed. So I immediately retreated. Not because I was defeated, but because I still didn't have enough information. No combat should be decided before investigation. In the Batcave, the examinations began. Blood samples collected during the confrontation revealed an impossible organism. The cells not only healed, they reconstructed any damaged tissue almost instantly.
Damn.
While analyzing the results,
I wish I had that.
Constructed any damaged tissue almost instantly. While analyzing the results, the Watchtower registered another curious phenomenon. The dimensional rupture remained unstable. Small amounts of information still crossed the border between universes. It wasn't just matter, it was data. Like lost transmissions crossing a storm. That's when I sought out Victor Stone. Cyborg. For days, we built a quantum computer capable of synchronizing its frequency with the scar left by the incursion. Our goal was to intercept the data escaping from it. The first files were practically unusable. Fragments of images, genetic sequences, corrupted military reports. I spent entire nights manually reconstructing that data, line by line. Until a name appeared. James Howlett. Logan. Wolverine. The more documents we recovered, the more worrying the situation became. More than a century of combat experience. War veteran. Expert in infiltration, survival, and hand-to-hand combat. Member of a team known as the X-Men. His healing factor made it virtually impossible to incapacitate him by conventional means. But one report caught my attention. His skeleton had been coated with a metallic alloy known as adamantium, practically indestructible. I continued researching. Among thousands of partially corrupted files, I found a combat record involving a mutant named Magneto. Adamantium reacted intensely to magnetic fields. It was the first real limitation found.
Yeah, you don't want to go against Batman because he will study you until he finds a weakness. Look what he did to the Justice League when he had all what is it? What am I trying to say? He had all everybody's weaknesses just in case they decide to go rogue and shit. That's crazy. The greatest detective known to man, Batman.
Acted intensely to magnetic fields. It was the first real limitation found. I immediately began to build a plan. I chose an old abandoned Wayne Tech steel mill. No other place in Gotham had so much concentrated metallic structure. With Cyborg's help, I adapted experimental superconducting coils from Star Labs and transformed them into gigantic electromagnetic emitters. Synchronized, they would produce a field intense enough to act directly on the adamantium. Still, there was a problem. Logan would never voluntarily step into the center of that facility.
Exactly.
So I started studying his behavior. He always investigated any clue related to the incursion. That's exactly what I needed. I faked military movements involving equipment collected from the dimensional rupture. I left enough traces to convince him that the steel mill hid answers. And that's how I got here.
Damn.
The plan initially worked. Logan appeared before dawn.
Yeah, he did.
He went through the gates
Tell you, almost
as if
bleeding
they were
to death.
made of paper. However, his keen sense of smell immediately noticed our presence. He didn't follow the path I had planned. He found my position. When he entered the control room, he found dozens of files projected on the screens. Everything we had managed to recover from the other universe. To him, it looked like an intelligence room prepared to monitor his team. His gaze immediately changed.
Yeah, big mistake.
At that instant, he stopped looking for him. He began to believe he had found the culprit. He advanced like an animal. There was no possibility of dialogue. At that moment, I was the enemy. His claws went through my shoulder in a blow I couldn't avoid. By inches. They didn't reach my throat. Before he could finish the attack, Cyborg fired his plasma cannon. His body was completely torn apart.
Jeez.
Exposed bones, destroyed muscles.
Well, you already know that didn't work, so chill. Damn.
Even so, he got up, and his wounds disappeared before my eyes. At that moment,
That's
I understood
crazy.
the true size of the problem. I threw smoke bombs to break his line of sight. It only worked for a few seconds. He found Victor by sound. He advanced and went through his body with his claws. Then he tore him in half.
Jeez.
Fortunately, most of his vital organs were cybernetic. Victor survived, but was temporarily incapacitated. I returned to combat. I managed to knock him down. I punched his face repeatedly. It was like punching a wall. He just smiled. He got up. Then his claws ripped open my abdomen. The pain almost made me lose consciousness. Blood began to soak the suit, but it wasn't time to fall yet. My true goal was never to defeat him. It was to lead him to the platform. He was catching up to me faster and faster. His speed was much greater than I had anticipated, but I had a faster ally. Flash appeared in a red blur. The collision threw Logan into the interior of the steel mill. Barry started running around him, ducking every blow, forcing him to advance.
Batman got some crazy pain tolerance because, jeez, I would have passed out. Well, no, to be honest, my pain tolerance is pretty good too. But I haven't been stabbed before, so yeah, that might be a whole different thing. But you never know.
Barry started running around him, ducking every blow, forcing him to advance exactly where I needed him. It was working, until experience overcame speed. Logan faked an attack from the right. Barry reacted. Logan grabbed his leg and broke it with a single move. Barry fell unconscious. Logan was now a few meters from the center of the facility, but he stopped. He looked around. He noticed the open space, the coils, the metallic structures. He had identified a trap. Perhaps I had underestimated his intelligence. Only one alternative remained. I took advantage of the fact that all screens were still on. I activated the main system. Jean Grey's image appeared before him.
Why is
He
she so
advanced
tall?
without thinking, exactly as I needed him to. When he reached the center of the facility, I activated the coils. For the first time, he stopped. His body tried to move forward. His skeleton remained still. The claws vibrated violently. The entire metallic structure of the steel mill responded to the magnetic field. I began to drain the adamantium from his skeleton. The process was slow, painful, and extremely dangerous. The metal began to be extracted from his body, inch by inch, while the systems monitored every change in his biological structure. Logan screamed, but he didn't beg. He just slowly raised his eyes towards me. And then I saw that look, the look of someone who believes they have failed their own responsibility. For an instant, I didn't see Wolverine. I saw Bruce Wayne. I saw myself. The process was interrupted. The system shut down. The adamantium stopped draining. While Logan remained contained, Cyborg, already partially recovered, completed the dimensional frequency calculations. On the other side of the facility, Barry Allen, even injured, got up. His accelerated physiology had already begun the fracture recovery. He staggered to the cosmic treadmill and started.
Is that even possible to get the drain that adamantium out of Wolverine? Here it is, Batman figured it out.
On the other side of the facility, Barry Allen, even injured, got up. His accelerated physiology had already begun the fracture recovery. He staggered to the cosmic treadmill and started running. The Speed Force temporarily stabilized the rupture that had brought Logan to our world. The opening appeared before us. I slowly deactivated the magnetic field. Logan fell to his knees. He could have killed me at that instant. Instead, he looked at the portal, then at me. His expression changed. For the first time since he arrived in Gotham, there was no anger, only recognition. The expression of one soldier recognizing another without saying a single word. He crossed the rupture, disappearing. A small amount of the metal had been extracted during the procedure. An extremely rare fragment,
Jeez.
Extremely resistant, and potentially dangerous. I could destroy it, but I didn't. That same night,
collection,
I stored the adamantium in an isolated compartment of the Batcave, alongside other materials that should never fall into the wrong hands. Everything cataloged, Everything protected, everything reserved for a single purpose. Emergencies, because knowledge is a weapon. And when it comes to protect,
he needs to get emergency. Didn't he just get like stabbed and stuff? Like, come on, man.
emergencies, because knowledge is a weapon. And when it comes to protecting this world, I prefer to have a weapon and never need to use it.
Yeah, he definitely stitches for that. But yeah, a whole lot of stitches. But yeah, that was Batman versus Wolverine. That was good. That was real good. I was trying to wonder. I was wondering how Batman's gonna like beat him, but of course it's Batman. That was good. This video was by Nexus once again. That was a good, real good. The original video will be down in the description, and see you in the next one. Peace, guys.